a big rock and roll star with a leather jacket and this guitar. But first stop is Saber School, where I learn about Japan and how to look cool. I'll learn how to get a cat and eat 100 tacos every day but never get fat. I'll meet aliens from outer space and wanna play nerd pop and rock this place. I can't wait for my first day. It's happening next Thursday. Welcome to Saber School. Welcome to Saber School. Welcome to Saber School. Whoa, whoa, welcome to Saber School. Welcome to Saber School.
Okay, now we're live. I didn't have the mic turned on, so you probably saw me talking there for a second with no audio, because that's what happened there. I didn't actually start anything because I'm an idiot. But nonetheless, hey, how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to your Friday night stream. We are here to hang out. That light's a bit bright. Let's move it. Okay, that looks a little bit better. You guys like the new hat? You like the new hat? Came from Ask Cosplay Senpai. They are amazing. Yes, hey, John's here. Fox Ferocious, great YouTube channel there. Go check him out. Check out Cambrio Music as well, who's also in here representing. Cam did an interview with me recently on his website. We talk about all things Kimchi Chris and all things lightsabers, and all things anime and rock and roll and Kiss and video games and all the things that I'm known for, all the nerdy things that you know me for. Yeah, we are here on a Friday night, hanging out. I don't know if I'm going to do these every Friday night, but I did it last Friday night, and we're here this Friday night as well. So maybe we'll do Fridays as a hang. I don't know. We'll see. It'll somewhat depend on the turnout every time, of course. We're starting a little bit lower on numbers tonight than we have in the past. So don't like that. Share it with your friends. Tell them we're here. That being said, it's all good. I'm so excited to be here. How's everybody been doing today? How has your day been? Has it been good? Has it been great? Has it been awful? How has your day went? Mine has been pretty good. I've been making my way through another run of Resident Evil 4. I haven't played it in a really long time, and I'm awful at it. I'm truly awful. I should have started my Twitch career, if you want to call it that, with that game, because I'm so bad that I think I'm laughable. I think I'm enjoyable because I'm just so bad at it. But I'm not good at it. But Resident Evil 4 is dope. I love it. I'm almost to the end, but it gets really hard at the end when all the zombies get weapons. That's the part where it gets hard. But that's where I am. That's where we are. I've been playing some of that today. I tried to film new videos for this channel like three times. But everybody in my neighborhood, every time, it's like they had a sixth sense, and they said, Kimchi Chris is trying to be productive. Let's start mowing the grass. Let's start yelling. Let's start screaming. Let's start cutting down a tree. Let's, do all these things that just don't need to be done on a weekday. I guess it wasn't really a weekday. It's Friday. It's the weekend. So they can do what they want, I suppose. But it was really hard. I tried to film like 3 times. First world problems, I know. But as a result, didn't get anything filmed because there were so many noises in my background. It was absolutely ridiculous. But nonetheless, Friday's been pretty good to me. And I'm excited to be here. I have some plans tonight. I know we normally just hang out and, chill. But tonight I think we're going to look at some of the current things that are going on in the rock and roll world, as well as investigate Record Store Day 2020. I think that would be fun. We're going to look at the website together because they've announced a weird way of having Record Store Day 2020 this year because of the situation in the world. Their way is weird, and I don't know that's really going to help the situation too much. But nonetheless, That's what they're doing. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to look at the website. I don't know how long we're going to go tonight necessarily. Last Friday was like 2 hours, and that was a long time. So I don't know if I'm going to do 2 hours again because my voice was shot afterwards. I felt physically destroyed afterwards, mentally destroyed, emotionally destroyed. It was a long thing. It was fun. You guys made it fun. We went 2 hours. There were people consistently in here hanging out, talking, asking questions, commenting. It was fun. But nonetheless, it was a long time going 2 hours. Yeah, Fox Ferocious. Do you know about Record Store Day? Do you know about Record Store Day? Do you know what it is? I can explain for anybody that's just doesn't know what it is. It's the day that if you've been to Free Comic Book Store Day, it's kind of similar but different because you have to pay for everything. But there's like a bunch of exclusive releases that come out on the day. And the idea is that you're going to your local independent record store, in the case of you specifically, like Goner Records or something like that in Memphis, and you're supporting them. And there's a lot of exclusive releases, all on vinyl for the most part, a few CDs as well. And yeah, it's really cool. You can get good releases. I've gotten great stuff in the past. There's always like cool releases from like the Ramones. They're always out there doing something. There's always a David Bowie release every time there's a David Bowie release. There's a lot of classic artists. There's never been a Kiss one, weirdly. There's usually a Cheap Trick one. Alice Cooper does it a lot. Usually there's something like classic hip-hop wise, like Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac or something. A lot of exclusive stuff. A lot of stuff you can't find in the wild. And a lot of it goes for big prices on eBay temporarily, and then some of it holds its value and some of it doesn't. But going to these stores and getting it is really, really important. Hey, David, what's up? Chris, what's up? That's what you say, but I'm saying it right back at you. I've never been out for Record Store Day. Would love to pick up Trouble Walking. Yeah, we're going to get into Record Store Day here in just a bit. But yeah, Trouble Walking would be amazing to get this year. I don't own that on vinyl, actually. I have the CD. It's probably my favorite solo Ace release. I talked about that on my video about it, funny enough. And I love that record. Whenever we get to that record on the Kimchi Classics reviews, which is way down the line, it's just going to be a love fest because I love that record so much. It brings a tear to my eye, and a Coke to my gut. I'm just drinking Coke tonight because if I start drinking beer at every one of these, I'm going to quickly become an alcoholic if I'm doing these a little bit more weekly and whatnot. So, yeah. DJ Anime, hey, what's up? You say yo. I say yo right back at you. I know who you are. DJ Anime 2005 has a really cool Twitch channel as well as YouTube. A little bit of YouTube here, too. I'll tell you something, DJ Anime. I'm starting my Twitch channel really soon. And it's going to be fun. I'm not sure what games I'm going to stream still. I've got a couple ideas, but for my first game, I want to stick with something a little bit, I don't know, a little bit shorter, because I don't want to commit to something really long. I want to do a Yakuza game at some point, because I love Yakuza, but if I don't stay committed to Twitch, I don't want to cut people off in the middle of like a 60-hour game. So I'm going to do something a little bit shorter in the beginning. Maybe we'll do a Resident Evil. I'm really bad at Resident Evil games, but I'm funny, I think, because I'm so bad at them. I scream a lot. Not necessarily in private, but, if you're dolling it up for the camera when you're on Twitch, of course, or on here or anything else. And let's see. Cam says, LOL, Kiss put something out for free. Well, Record Store Day isn't free. I probably was a little bit misleading comparing it to Free Comic Book Store Days. You gotta pay for all that stuff. No music industry is gonna put anything out for free. But nonetheless, Record Store Day is amazing. And I miss it this year. And when we get to that, it's weird. I don't know how it's going to help the situation with the way the world is today. But they're going to try. And Fox Roach says, what's up, Kyle? Hey, what's up, Kyle? DJ Anime says, yep, I was streaming on Twitch earlier. Yeah, see, here's the problem. I think this is amazing. I have a hard time jumping into your stream sometimes, though, because I don't know what games, I don't know what's going on. You play the RPGs. Play something easy for me to jump into, or something I've already played before. I guess, I might watch, whenever you get to Persona Royal, if I'm done with Persona 5, perhaps. But I know there's a lot of extra stuff in there. I'm so far behind, I'm going to play Persona 5 Royal probably like 100 years after it's been out, here for a while. But nonetheless, let's see here. Fox Ferocious wants to know, who did you get to will you into the classroom on this tube TV. I can't read apparently at all, but nonetheless, yeah, just somebody. I found some guy willed me in, and now I'm on this TV, the CRT. It's a CRT. Yeah, we all know what a CRT is. Hopefully, we know what a CRT is. That's what it is. I got willed in on. I got America right behind me. Voltaire's behind me as well. Got Kiss. I'm not good reacting with the camera. Let's see here. Cam Bria wants to know, what's your day job or which industry? I don't talk about that stuff too much on these things, honestly. It's not anything crazy, but I like to separate myself. The only hint I will give is that it's something that's connected close enough to what I do that I don't want it to be more connected. I just don't. I really don't. And that's fine to ask. People have asked that more than once before. That's a pretty common question, but I can tell you it's not like at a retail store, but I'm not hidden in an office necessarily either. So it's one of those things where I don't, but a good question nonetheless. Good. This is my day job. What are you talking about? That should be the proper answer every time. I think that YouTube, just like music or any type of art, I don't know if YouTube's art, but any type of art is escapism, and as a result, that's why I don't really, dabble in that too much on here. But what I can say as far as my day job goes is that I have not been there for a really long time at this point because of the way the world is, but they are taking care of us, so that's wonderful. So that's part of the reason money has not really been an object for me through all this. Quite the opposite, which is nice. It might happen at some point. I have no idea when we'll reopen. Because the other hint I'll give is that we're going to be pretty late in the game to reopen, I'm sure. And, with the situation that's going on, I'm not going to say the word because this is, YouTube. They don't like you saying that word, which makes sense. I did say it in the title of a video early on before I knew that. But nonetheless, I've been doing good as a result of that. That's kind of a roundabout way to not answer your question, but it's a good question. It's a good question. Nonetheless, let's see. DJ Anime wants to know, well, I will be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake here soon. I might jump in a little bit on that to see you. I want to play that myself. I still have to play the original, believe it or not, Final Fantasy VII all these years later. I downloaded it on the Switch. I have it downloaded. I've never beat it. I played it back in the day, but I never beat it. I need to beat it. And then I'll play the remake 1,000 years after that. I'm always late on games. With the exception of a few series, there's a handful of series I buy on time. I buy Yakuza games. I buy Resident Evil games. And Mario. And Splatoon. That might be it, actually. And Splatoon, I didn't really buy it on time, actually. I think I would buy a new one on time is more what I mean. Mario games, though, I do. But I don't buy every Mario game because there's always some weird Mario games, sports ones and whatnot. But the mainline ones, like Odyssey and things like that, I always buy them on time. But with that being said, we're kind of going all over the place. So it is Friday. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to know? These Let's Chat, these hangs, they're guided more by you guys. I come in with some subjects, some ideas, and then we kind of go from there. But what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to know? What are you doing on your Friday? What are you doing tomorrow on Saturday? Are you guys still stuck at home with all of this? Are you venturing out into the world? Is it exciting out there in the world? I haven't really ventured into the world outside of buying food for a while. As I've talked about in my Total Isolation video series, which has been a weird series to make because it's more of a diary of kind of what's going on in my life because I don't want to get out of this and just say I did nothing, even though I've been doing a lot of nothing, to be fair, as we've been on this. Cam wants to know, worst mobile game you've played. There's a really bad port of the first Mega Man game on mobile, and it's unplayable. So by default, it's the worst, but it's pretty much unplayable. So that would be the worst one I've played, I would say. I would say that's the worst one. I think it's even worse because there's a good version of it out there, be it the original NES cartridge or the Legacy Collection on Switch and PS4, or the other collection that was on PS2, or that other collection that was on GameCube, or that other collection that was on that other thing. There's a DS one, so there's a 3DS one. So that specific port is the worst mobile game ever. Capcom has a history of bad ports on mobile devices, though, so it's not too surprising. Dylan says, getting ready for my first post-quarantine show next week. Ooh. Or weekend. Weekend. Oh. Quarantine show next... Oh, show. Wait, what? Okay, I didn't even read that close to correctly. Wait, there's shows happening? Really? Where? What? Explain yourself. Explain yourself, Dylan. Are you streaming? Are you streaming the show? There's a lot of those happening. Mikey Mason was streaming right before this on Twitch. I checked some of that out. That was fun. That was cool. He's a nerdy musician. Always plays at Dragon Con and Gen Con and things like that. But where are you playing, Dylan? What venue is actually gonna do that? I think that's risky. You know, more power to you. But I want to know about it. I want to know more. I want to know what's going on in the world of Dylan. Fox Ferocious says, I'm hanging on Saturday with healthy people. That's good. Today I'm organizing music and other laptop stuff. Yeah, I saw your video about all of your stuff not working. And, I think you had a very positive outlook on that, saying that, just gives you a license to make content in a different way. I find myself sometimes doing the same thing where I care too much, I feel sometimes, about the quality and stuff. The quality is important, but it sometimes would be nice to just kind of revert to a time where you could just do this. Hey, I'm making a video. I'm uploading a video, but we don't do that anymore, as you know. So it's kind of nice to be a little bit reverted, I could see. Cam says, what did you ask Vinnie Vincent? What have I not asked Vinnie Vincent? I've only talked to him once. It was very brief. When I met him in Atlanta, if that's kind of what you're referring to. I met him twice technically because they did all the photos at one time and all the autographs another, because that's pretty common at like Kiss Expos, comic conventions, anime cons, things like that. Because what they'll do is they'll have everybody wait in line and you get thrown in there to get your picture because the musician, the artist, whatever's standing up, and you get your picture with them. And then they'll do a different line. You do your autographs afterwards, so they're sitting at their table and there's not as much back and forth. It's very common. And that's what they did. And when I was thrown in there for the picture, I asked him for a hug, weirdly enough. The reason I did this, normally I wouldn't ask that. I think that's a little bit off limits and a little bit weird with these like famous people and celebrities. But the person before me got a hug from him, and I just thought what a good and interesting story to be able to tell people down the road that I got a hug from Vinnie Vincent. And he gave me a hug, no problem. So very, very accommodating, very nice. That's why it was weird when the things changed, down the line again. And then we went in there for the autographs. I think I was very like weirdly honest. I could kind of talk to him, and I just said, look, man, I thought the next thing, which would be the last thing at that time, that we were going to hear from him was that he was dead. And I was glad he was back. I thanked him for it. And he said, yeah, I'm glad to be back. Unfortunately, things have kind of unfolded the way they are. But that's a story for a whole other time and place. But if you guys don't know what I'm talking about that are watching right now, basically things went really south with Vinnie Vincent. He had a comeback. He was the second guitarist in Kiss after Ace Frehley, and had a comeback 2 years ago. You can watch a whole series of videos on here about it. And he was very nice, very accommodating, very cool at his comeback expo appearance, even though the expo was awful. But then things got really crazy in the world of Vinnie Vincent, and at one point, he stole footage from me from my channel and used it, doctored it up a little bit to try to sell posters. Just one of the highlights of things he did. And it's funny because I would like to meet Vinnie Vincent now because I know he's watched all my videos. And I've generally been very critical of him, but I've also generally been complimentary of him when he does things that are actually cool. One of those not being stealing my footage to sell posters. But that channel, I think, got reported. Because it was on like a separate channel for these like classic rock posters, and that channel's not around anymore. It's not around. And he didn't just use my footage. He also used Ralph Vieira's from the Almost Human channel, and he also used this other podcast. I can't remember what they're called, some kind of metal podcast. But the point is that channel's not here anymore. I think it got reported. I didn't do it, but it was funny because I said it was going to happen, and it did. It really did, I think. So you can watch a lot of videos on this channel about that, but don't do that right now. Stay here right now. Let's see here. DJ Anime says, what anime have you been watching recently? I miss anime conventions. I haven't been watching a ton of anime, but I've been trying to get caught up on One Piece. I'm around episode 100 on One Piece, which is like not even close to being caught up. It's in like 900 plus episodes, but it's impressive to say you've watched 100 episodes of a show and you haven't even cracked the surface. I've been watching a lot of like movies and stuff though. I watched both of the Galaxy Express 3-9 movies, the classics from the late 70s, early 80s. Those are wonderful, and I implore you to watch them if you never have. I might dive into the TV series soon, but that's another long one. It's over 100 episodes. Galaxy Express is just so classic. I also watched, I never had watched the Gunbuster movie, one of the early Gynex things. I watched the OVA series from back in the day, but I never watched the movie. I got that on Blu-ray, so I watched that. What else? I've been watching some Lupin movies as well. Been watching a lot of short stuff. I've been rewatching Angel Cop, 80s hyper-violent OVA series. On that note, I watched Violence Jack recently. So I guess I have been watching anime, but it's been like shorter doses and stuff. I'm not watching anything current really too much, which is kind of weird. At some point, I need to get back into My Hero and get caught up on that for sure. But One Piece is fun, but it's hard to get. Oh, another long one. I've got back into trying to finish up Ranma 1/2. I watched the first like 5 seasons and didn't finish up the 6th and never started the 7th. Well, I'm on the 7th now. I'm about halfway through it, so I guess I have been watching some anime. I've also been watching Workaholics. Workaholics is great. Such a good comedy. I've been watching it on Hulu. I watched the original Muppets movie the other night. That was fun. Love that thing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That scene with Richard Pryor is great. The music's great. It's just a great movie. Everything about it's great. Let's see here. Dylan says, I live in New Brunswick, Canada. Okay. It's weird. I have a lot of people that watch me in Canada. We are allowed outdoor gigs of 50 people or under with social distancing. The small bar gigs of 20 and under. Interesting. I'm in Nashville, if you didn't know. And Broadway is our kind of like tourist area with a lot of venues, like just tons of venues. It's a giant road of them if you've never been here. All terrible music, It's all like bad pop country cover bands, But nonetheless, they make their living doing that, of course. And they have weird rules as well that they've been reopening, but you can only have like 2 performers on a stage at a time. And you can't be near the stage. Like, if this is the stage, the audience has to be here. It's weird. It's a really weird situation. But they're wanting to reopen and sell that booze, make that money because the money talks. So it's a weird thing. Let's see here. Fox Rocha says, I have a positive the positive outlook worked out because I got most everything back up and gained a new superpower. Ooh, a new superpower. When you get the time, look at volumetric video and check the TED Talk. Huge stuff happening. Huge! Wait, were you had a TED Talk? Or are you just saying it's a different... I don't know. You guys, Fox Roche is here, who's in the chat. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. He doesn't update enough, but he fell on some hard times recently in the fact that all of his stuff blew up that he makes YouTube videos with. But he's using this guy. We all can make videos. We all have the power in our pockets. That's a weird quote. You have the power in your pocket to do anything you want in the world. But nonetheless, he is still creating great content, so you should definitely check his channel out. Austin says, am I late to the party? You're not late to the party ever as long as you show up to the party. You should be fashionably late. With parties, nobody's meant to show up on time. If you're the guy that shows up on time, you're the nerd. Nobody wants to show up on time to a party. I am just drinking Coke, though, for those that just showed up tonight. No Coca-Cola, too, not the, no beer tonight. I don't want to become one of those, what do they call it? Fun people? No, alcoholics, that's what they call it. So, yeah. Cambrio says, please tell me you have memorized the Speedball Jam. Oh, my God. So, for anybody that doesn't know what the Speedball Jam is in the chat, Vinnie Vincent, who we talked about earlier, musician from Kiss, really fast guitar player, shredder. That's what he was known for, was being a fast, quick guitar. It's like a million notes a minute. Just that's the solo style. And he did the Speedball Jam, which was a release that he put out that is literally just, is it 75 minutes of that? 75 minutes of just over like some different drum beats and things. It's awful. It's one track. It's recorded poorly. It's unlistenable. If you can make your way through it, you're a better man than me. But you can break it up. It's been broken up into movements. Like it's a classical work. And when you look at it, if you look at it in like an avant-garde, like noise perspective, weird way, I appreciate Speedball Jam, and I appreciate the audacity to release it as a product. When it came out, it was like a $50 CD in early 2000. And he signed all of them. And then he did try to re-release it a year ago, perhaps. And I can't remember the price he was selling it for. I did make a video about it on this channel, but I want to say it was like $250 for a CD in 2018 or 19, whatever year it was. How crazy is that? Vinnie Vincent he's a treasure, but he hasn't really been doing much. I kind of wonder if he's done again permanently. He's kind of went away again. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens in the world of Vinnie Vincent. Let's see here. New Brunswick has 0 new cases. It's the armpit of Canada. Joking. Oh, wow. Does it really have 0 new cases? I don't believe that. Is that true? Is that true? That's insane if that's true. Good for you. Good for you. I guess one day I'll have to go to Canada just to see Danko Jones. If nothing else. Let's see. Fox Rocha says, TED Talk, not by me, but a great one nonetheless. Make sure to send that to me because I'll forget about it. I forget about stuff in these chats. Send that to me. I'll look it up. If you have a new superpower, I'm down for that new superpower. See, Fox Roches is one of the people, such as myself, that will sing the praises of Dragon Con. I've talked about that before on the streams as well as on my channel and everything. And, unfortunately, probably won't have Dragon Con this year. I won't say probably. It hasn't been canceled yet. Dragon Con's not happening this year. But it's sad because it's a big, fun event. Lots of music. Patrick Stewart is there sometimes. Alice Cooper has been there. A lot of cool people. Felicia Day. A lot of cool people. But it's not going to happen this year, I don't think. I really don't think it's going to happen. Austin says, did you hear about Steve Priest's death? I don't know who Steve Priest... Are you saying like apostrophe S? I don't know who that is. So no, I haven't heard about his death. Who is he? Should I look him up? You can explain it to me, Austin. I believe in your abilities. I got to give a shout out to Austin, who's in the chat here, as well as Cam. Those are two of the people that seem to be consistently on pretty much all of my streams and are always showing up on Instagram and maybe Twitter. I don't know. Twitter's a weird area, but they're always around is the point. So shout out to you guys for always being there for me. It's awesome. There's a lot of people that are always around as well. So it's cool. Like Fox Roches, who's in the chat right now, one of my longtime friends. Really cool guy, and always making cool music and everything. Let's see here. Dylan says yes. So so there's really 0 new cases in New Brunswick. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I didn't think we'd hear about that from anywhere. I think this is far from over, and world round. But that's cool to see that some places are recovering. Fox Roches says, "Woo! So ready for Dragon Con 2021. See, yeah, you're like me. They haven't canceled. But if you pay attention to their social media and everything, they have stayed pretty much silent through all this. I mean, they've done the occasional post saying, like, costumes are cool. They haven't announced hardly any guests past a certain date. They stopped, they stopped announcing guests. They have to worry about insurance and things like that. I don't think they're doing a bad thing at all. I applaud them for dealing with it the way they are. They have to wait. There's usually a cutoff date, so you can do a force majeure, which means act of God cancellation. And then they don't lose as much money. So I'm ready, though, for Dragon Con 2021 as well. Here's the thing, though. Will we get one in 2021? We don't know how long-lasting this stuff is, and that's a very big event. So, I mean, it's just a very realistic and scary thing to think about. Same thing with Anime Week in Atlanta. I don't think we're getting that this year, and hopefully we'll get it next year. The nice part is when those events return, since we haven't been spending money going to those events this year, they're going to be the biggest parties ever. Everyone's going to have a lot of money to blow, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely insane. Let's see here. Austin says, Steve Priest is the bassist from The Sweet. I got to check out The Sweet. They come up every stream, and I've still never looked that much into them. I did not hear about him dying, but that's sad. It's always sad when someone from a classic rock band like that dies, even if you don't know the band too much. He's lived a long life, though, it sounds like, so that's good. He's the third member who died in the band. Oh, wow. So no Sweet reunions anytime soon. Kind of like the Ramones. You're not getting a Ramones reunion. We have, CJ left and Richie, who aren't original members. And we have, of course, Marky Ramone, who's also not an original, but was there a lot longer nonetheless. But not getting a Ramones reunion anytime soon. Even though those three guys, even though two of them are drummers, they can get together and do like a tribute tour or something. I know Marky Ramone does the Marky Ramone's Blitzkrieg tour, where right now he just has some ringers in there performing the parts, everything from guitar, bass, vocals. He's doing the drums, of course. But for a while, he had Andrew W.K. in there singing, and I would have loved to have seen that, but it never came anywhere near me, other than like a 12-hour drive, and I wasn't going to drive that far. But it's funny because when you see videos from it, you have Marky Ramone in the band playing very Ramone style, looking very Ramones, all leather, but you have Andrew W.K. up there in his full-on white, long hair, just ready to go. So very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Let's see here. Cam wants to know, worst movie you've seen recently? I haven't really seen any bad movies recently. Because of everything that's going on, I've only been watching movies at home, and I've been rewatching a lot of old stuff or watching some old stuff I never watched before for the first time, and a lot of classic stuff. You have an idea of what it is getting into it. So it's been a while since I've seen something that was bad. I don't know. That's a hard question. It's a hard question. It really is. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that. One movie I think is one of the worst movies ever made, and I think that it just always comes to mind when people say bad movies, was that movie Kung Pao. You remember that awful movie that probably would be considered like racially offensive by today's standards? Look it up. Look it up if you're unaware. I remember watching the beginning of that and just turning it off. Just turning it off. I couldn't stomach it. It was so awful. So Kung Pao is a good choice of one of the worst movies ever made. But recently, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of good movies. I haven't really watched anything bad. And I have like a lot of the streaming services. I have, of course, Netflix, of course, Crunchyroll, Hulu, Disney Plus. Those are the 4 that I have right now. And they're all for different reasons. It's kind of annoying that it's so like misconstrued now. I kind of want to get the HBO Max that just started, but I feel I should probably get rid of one of those others because I'm getting too much at that point. It's not the money, it's just the fact that there's only so many hours in the day to watch TV and movies. You got to make time for video games and streaming. Let's see here. DJ Anime says, same thing with the Anime Weekend in Atlanta. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I really don't see it happening, which is a shame. The worst, not the worst, obviously, but a bad thing about all this happening this year is that this is a year we're getting 4th of July and Halloween both on Saturdays, and we probably aren't even going to be able to celebrate. We're not going to be able to celebrate 4th of July, but we're probably not even going to be able to celebrate Halloween properly, even though you can wear masks on Halloween pretty easily. Just saying. There's a possibility to do something on Halloween, maybe. We'll see. It's half a year away still. We'll see here. Fox Roasted says, I think that we'll adapt by next year. Think about the cosplays next year, man. People have an extra year. Yeah, I mean, all the conventions and all the events when they come back next year are going to be the ultimate parties. The amount of alcohol consumed will be astronomical. The amount of great cosplays will be astronomical. The amount of great guests will probably be astronomical. I'm curious to see how this affects the guest situation because, these guests don't have to do this, but then certain ones make a lot of money doing it. Certain ones don't have to, though. So I wonder, and the bad part is a lot of the ones that are the bigger draws are the ones that don't have to do it. Patrick Stewart does not have to come to Dragon Con. Alice Cooper does not have to come to Dragon Con. So we'll see. It's going to make it either a lot harder for smaller guests to get booked or a lot easier. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited, though. I think that we will figure it out by 2021. I'm praying at the very least. I'm hoping. I want to get Dragon Con, I want to get Anime Week in Atlanta, and I want to get the stadium tour of Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and Poison. I want all those things to happen in 2021. I want Kiss to play more shows. I want everything to be great by then, but we just don't know. Clutch 2827, what's up, Clutch? I always see you around here. It's great. Do you like Big Star? No reunions there either, unfortunately. Big Star is one of those bands like The Sweet. They get brought up all the time. Here's what's funny. When I'm on YouTube and I'm online, I'm around my glammy people, they bring up The Sweet. When I'm around more like my record nerds and like hipster people and record store guys, they bring up Big Star, and I still have never listened to either one. Maybe I'll listen to them later. Big Star's like a power pop band, right? And The Sweet is kind of poppy too. I gotta check out my power pop. Upgrade my life. Melissa says, "Hey, Kimchi Chris," and then she smiles. That was a weird smile. That was a creepy one. Hey, what's up, Melissa? Thank you for coming out. I know that I think you missed me another time. More sad about it. But hopefully you're happy now that you're here, because we're hanging out together on a Friday night, and it's fun. Fox Ferocious, Kung Pao is a favorite of mine. It's so bad. I have not seen it in so long, but only because I watched it as a teenager. That's when I tried to watch it. And it was so bad. I just couldn't watch it. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Like, I like bad movies, but they have to be a certain type of bad for me to be able to enjoy them. And speaking of things that aren't bad, by the way, give this video a thumbs up. I'm just going to throw that in here in the middle. It really helps out. I see a few of you have, so that's awesome. Give video a thumbs up. Let's see. Cambrio, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. Yeah. DJ Anime says, I have been to one anime convention this year that was back in February. Yeah, I went to see Kiss in February in Lexington, Kentucky at the Rupp Arena. I've never learned how to say that arena's name. Even after going there, I probably should ask someone that worked there, but that was my last big thing, and that was the day. It was Valentine's Day Eve. I remember the joke I was making is just how awful my life is that I'm driving to Lexington, Kentucky the day before Valentine's Day to see Kiss. It says a lot about myself. But nonetheless, the show was phenomenal. But that was my last big thing that I did before everything just went insane. And, if somehow concerts never return the way they were or didn't return at all or something like that, which, hopefully they will, I'm okay with saying my last big thing was Kiss, because that's a good way to go out. Melissa says, 2021 will be the year. I agree. I agree so much. 2021, 2021. There's probably a hand motion for that. I don't know. One thing I'm kind of concerned and worried about, and skeptical, concerned. I don't know if those are all the right words. What will New Year's Eve be like this year? Will they drop the ball with no one around? I guess we'll see. Let's see here. Jay Rucker wants to know, Cheap Trick fan. Huge Cheap Trick fan. Love Cheap Trick. Absolutely adore them. Love them so much. I love them. I mean, there's no way to say it. I mean, Rick Nielsen. That man alone. Tom Peterson. Lives down the street from me, that guy does. I don't know where exactly, but I know he's in town. But it's amazing. What a great band. In Color's one of my favorite records ever. Heaven Tonight's great. I don't hate the Doctor. I know a lot of people do. But I think Cheap Trick's phenomenal. They put out great stuff. They've continued to put out great stuff through the years, which is cool. Even their Christmas record they put out a couple years back is phenomenal. Everything about Cheap Trick is good. They have not skipped a beat. DJ Anime says, I was supposed to go to Disney, but that trip will happen next year. I believe it'll happen next year as well. I really do, but I wasn't supposed to go to Disney. I would like to go to Disney, perhaps. I don't know. I think it's really expensive. I think the problem with me going to Disney is that I would go to Disney and I would have fun. There's no way to not have fun at Disney. But then I would think about all the other things I could have done with that money, and I will probably have wished I had done those things with that money at that point, because, I don't know, DJ Anime, how much money, you don't have to say this if you feel uncomfortable with it, on a typical Disney trip, including airfare, hotel, food, how much money do you spend? I'm curious. If you don't want to tell me, it's fine. You can say a ballpark as well. I bet it's a lot, though. I'm very curious. Very curious. If you don't want to tell me here, you can tell me in private. Tell me here, though, if you want. Let everybody know. Share with the class after I propose the question. DJ Anime says, Valentine's Day weekend, I was at KatsuCon in DC. Yeah, so that was your last one. See, an anime con on Valentine's Day weekend isn't as sad as driving by yourself to see a Kiss show in another state. Because you're around friends and family and there's a lot of depressed people. Actually, an anime con on Valentine's Day weekend sounds all right if you're single. if you meet the right people, so to speak. a lot of depressed people. I'd hang around the bar that night for sure. That's not creepy. It's completely consensual with what I'd be thinking there. But yeah, that seems like a pretty good place to go. Let's see here. Cam says, do you think the president will try to cancel the election or at least mail-in voting? Well, we're not going to get political here, guys, but I'm sure you guys saw the hoopla, that's the word we'll use. I don't use that. That word's not used nearly as much. I'm sure you guys saw the hoopla about the president saying that mailed-in election tallies you can't take serious, apparently. They can be tampered with, which, I mean, I guess technically they could, but I don't think he can cancel the election for one. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but he can't cancel it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know these things. I'm not a politician, but I'm pretty sure he can't cancel it. I guess I don't know. We'll see what happens when it comes to election time. I think he'd probably be okay with he personally would be okay with canceling it, I bet. Clutch 2827 says, if you are a music fan, watch Big Star Nothing Can Hurt Me. You can rent it on Amazon for a couple of bucks. I need to check it out. I like music documentaries in general. It doesn't matter if I know much about the band or not either. I really like music documentaries. I just like good documentaries in general. I like documentaries. I'm a nerd. Documentaries are good if they're done well. I watched one on sexting. Yeah, watched one on that on Hulu the other night. And it was better than you would think. It kind of just felt like a documentary you'd see on YouTube, but longer. Oh, hey, Cam, a question you asked earlier, and we ended up talking about Kung Pao. You asked what was the last bad movie I saw. So I don't know if you remember or if you were here during that. I know you were here on the last stream, Cam, as well as some of you others. But we talked about the Saw movies for a second. I said I was making my way through them. And I'd watched the first 4 as of the last stream. So I watched the 5th one the other night. So there's 8 in total, and I'm going to make it through the gamut no matter how bad they get. And I joked about on stream, they got to get bad at some point because I've enjoyed the first 4, and no horror movie series is completely good the whole way through. Well, guess what? It wasn't bad necessarily, but the 5th Saw movie was pretty forgettable compared to the other ones. So to answer your question delayed from earlier, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but Saw 5, especially compared to the other ones, is not that great. But going back to the Big Star documentary, I'll have to check that out. I have Amazon installed on the PS4 from when I had Prime for a little bit, and I watched all the stuff on there. I need to get Prime again for like 1 month just so I can watch the second season of The Tick, because the live-action Tick they had on there was really good. It was reminiscent of the 90s Fox cartoon, and that's what we wanted. The original live-action Tick that was on Fox during that time, I don't know when the live-action Fox Tick was originally. It was bad, though. It doesn't matter. DJ Anime says that she'll private message me. Cool. I would love to know that. Gregman05. Hey, Chris. Cool hat. Thanks. Thanks, Gregman. Look at that. It's made by Ask Cosplay Senpai. Logo is right there. Thanks. Check out Ask Cosplay Senpai on Instagram and everywhere else that they exist. And you can get your own Kimchi hat or just put whatever else you would like on it. Austin says, you should look up on YouTube Sweet All the Glitters. It's just a short 30-minute documentary about the band on Top of the Pops. You can just look it up on YouTube for free. Okay, I might do that. That might be a good way to get into the Sweet. Gotta check out the Sweet. I want to say I might have a Greatest Hits CD from them that I've never opened. Funny enough. Cam says, I gotta head out. Please share the interview link tomorrow. Yeah, Cam Brio on his website, cambriomusic.com, did an interview with me recently. We talked about all things Kimchi Chris, all things Night Sabers, all things anime, all things video games, all things music, all things rock and roll. You gotta check it out. I'm gonna share it around. I didn't do it today because I try not to spam you guys with too many posts on Instagram and whatnot, but preview. We'll see it tomorrow on Instagram. So speaking of that, I'm caught up on the chat. So one thing I wanted to cover with this stream, I said we were going to talk about like current events and rock and stuff, but there aren't that many of them. There's only one that I really wanted to talk about, but I think I'm going to hold off because that might be Sunday's video. But we want to talk about Record Store Day. We talked about Record Store Day earlier in the stream, and I want to bring up the website and show you guys what they're doing this year, because they're doing a lot of weird things. So we'll be right back in about 2 seconds. Literally as soon as you see this, I probably will have it up. So we'll be back in just like 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds here to bring the website up.
I'm gonna be a big rock and roll star with a leather jacket and this guitar. But first stop is Saber School, where I learn about Japan and how to look cool. I'll learn how to get up.
All right, and we're back. I told you it was going to be 2 seconds. It was more like maybe it was 10 seconds. I don't know. But we're back. We are back on the attack. And actually, I didn't do something right. Oh my god. This is the first time I'm ever trying to screen share. Hold on. Okay, we're back. We're back. Trying to make it look professional. Not doing a good job either. So you guys can see we are on the Record Store Day website here in all of its glory. And we're going to explore this site a little bit together. So if you were unaware of what Record Store Day is, basically, Record Store Day is this event that happens once a year, except now it happens on Black Friday as well. And they put out a lot of exclusive releases, a lot of stuff you can't get any other time of the year. It's really cool. I mean, they're highlighting some of the releases here, and they always put out a list. So they put out a list for this year, and instead of doing it for one day this year, they're going to be doing what they call a drop series. And what that means, you can see here, it has multiple dates. We're going to be getting August 29th, September 26th, and October 24th drops, okay? But it's still going to work the same as Record Store Day, where you can only get them apparently physically at a record store, right? So the thing that confuses me about that is that means instead of shoving a bunch of people in a record store one day out of the year with all this happening, you're now going to want to do it for 3 days. I'm very confused by that. Very confused by that. How that'll actually help. I thought they were going to probably just change it and do it all online. But they're claiming that they are going to do it here through these different releases. So the list is out. So let's take a look at some of these releases and see what some of the cool stuff that's coming out is, because maybe you people are aware of this, maybe you're not. But these things, and when you click on each title, it tells you which date it's coming out on. So I'm just going to highlight some of the stuff I'm interested in, but there's enough of a delay that if I skip by something that you want to see and you even mention in the comments, it might just be skipped. But nonetheless, they're all here in alphabetical order, and there's a lot of cool stuff that's planned to come out. You can see, if you're into the Allman Brothers, oh man, so much stuff coming out. I'm not, but we definitely have some cool stuff coming out. This is probably one of the first things I would be interested in on here. Would probably be this Jealous Again re-release, I suppose, or it's a single. Okay, so this one's gonna be the ones out on September 26th. So that looks pretty cool. It has this awesome album art with the crows being all just jacked up, the way the Black Crowes were known to be. And so, see, these things are limited. They even tell you how many are going to be out or how many are going to be released. So we're going to get 7,500 of these, okay? And it's just, 3 songs. You get Jealous Again album version, you get Waiting Guilty, and you get Thick and Thin. I think this looks cool. The thing that's kind of weird about Record Store Day, though, is that a lot of times it is just single releases and things like that. They're just trying to make an extra buck with this music they have setting around to a degree. Nonetheless, this looks like a cool release. I like the album art. So I'd be interested in that. Let's see. What else is cool that's on this list? I assume everything's on this list. So David Bowie. There's always David Bowie releases here. And as you can see, there's quite a few here. We have Changes Now Bowie. We have Changes Now Bowie again. Oh, yeah, the CD and the LP version. Okay. We have I'm Only Dancing, the Soul Tour 74, both on CD and vinyl. Let's see what this is here. Is this just the Changes compilation? Changes Bowie is a 9-track session recording of radio and broadcast by the BBC on David's 50th birthday, January 1997. So that's an era you don't see represented a whole lot with Mr. David Bowie there, so that's kind of cool. The broadcast originally featured interviews with David. And so this might be a cool thing to get. I'm not sure. I don't buy these each time from him because he has something I feel like every time. But let's see what this live one is. So this one, and see, some of these, they don't tell you how many it's limited to because they don't want to tell you. This one's coming out in August. I don't think I said that in the last one. But this one is from a recently discovered sources of David Bowie from the Soul Tour 74. This is, wait a second. This one has his performance in Michigan Palace, Detroit 20th, Detroit on the 20th of October, Detroit 20th, whatever that means, October 20th, 1974. And also has the encores from the Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, November 30th, 1974. Okay, I might get this out of just sheer, I've been there and I know that place now. Oh, why'd I have to see that? That's a cool release. So let's see, what else is in here? What else is worth picking up? There's always a lot of releases I don't care too much about. But, as we can see, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't care about Johnny Cash myself too much, but that's a good release there. Johnny Cash Hall of Fame series, early mixes, 87. Okay, so that's everything on the first page here. But on page 2, it's all here. What do we have from George Clinton? Mortal Kombat? Wait, what? Okay. That is what I thought it was. So, George Clinton, I guess, did a thing for Mortal Kombat? Is it like the main title? I don't know. What's up, Eggman Rocks Culture? I guess he's in the room. Because he says room there. Yeah, I guess the original score for Mortal Kombat was by George Clinton. Did not know that. We learned something today. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's a thing. We could get Coolio Gangsta's Paradise 25th Anniversary Edition. Now this is cool. This is cool right here. I remember seeing this already. You can get Alice Cooper live from the Apollo Theater, February 19th, 1982, from the Special Forces tour, I believe. And what a cool, Special Forces tour. And this has largely unreleased, only 3 tracks: Who Do You Think We Are, Under My Wheels, and Modern Citizen, that were all previously B-sides in 82. And then it has, of course, the rest of it as well, which this looks like it's a cool set in general. It has Who Do You Think We Are, Modern Citizen, Go to Hell, Guilty, I'm 18, Cold Ethel, Only Women Bleed, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Clones, We're All. That's a cool one to see live. Under My Wheels, I Never Cry, 7 and 7 Is. Ooh, you don't see that one much. Grim Facts, you don't see that one much. Pain, Billion Dollar Babies, Generation Landslide, Who Do You Think We Are, and School's Out. I want this one. This one's going to be out on the October drop. That makes sense, with it being the month of fear and it being Alice Cooper. Greg Mann says he did the song for Super Mario Bros. Movie. Wow, George Clinton is such a versatile guy. I didn't know that. That's interesting. That makes that movie a little bit better by default, actually. Let's see here. Eggman says that the situation postponed the Birthday Massacre concert in Atlanta till September. That's a shame. That is such a shame. Were you going to that? Were you going to that in Atlanta? Did you go to Dragon Con? We were talking about that earlier. I don't think Dragon Con's happening this year. It might be postponed till September, but I don't know that you're going to get that in September either. This stuff's going to last a lot longer. It might get postponed again and or canceled, but I've already had one show that was canceled, or not canceled, postponed twice, and I think it might get canceled. Who knows? But let's see. What else do we have on here? So for anyone that's just joining us, we're going through the releases for Record Store Day 2020 that are being released across 3 different days this year. Death Piggy Guar. What is that? That's a side project for Guar, I believe. Yeah, that's what it is. Only 1,000 of these being put out. That's pretty cool. I don't know that I can't... Wait, hold on. This sounds cool. Bonus download content with purchase. 20-minute, never before heard live improv acoustic set from 1984. Recorded as the band surprised business owners and pedestrians on the street with an impromptu performance. Okay. That alone makes me want this. Because it's some of the Guar guys. I think Odorous was in this. Before he became Odorous, Dave Brocky was in this band. Okay. Dave Brocky on a street corner. That sounds amazing. Let's see here. Eggman says, yes, it was in March. Dragon Con is still a go for now. Yeah, Dragon Con's not happening, though. I mean, we talked about it earlier, actually, not to retread, the same surface too much. Dragon Con's not going to happen. I mean, I want it to happen. My band played there last year, and it was amazing. It was one of the best experiences we've ever had. Love Dragon Con, but it's not going to happen. But they're going to have to wait till a little bit closer to cancel it for insurance and financial reasons. That's just how these big events go. That's why it always takes a while. What do we have from Dio here? This is a single. I think, ooh, look at that picture disc. Can I click on this? Ooh, look at that, guys. Look at that. That is cool. That picture disc. 3,000. Might have to look into that. That's pretty cool. Wait, I think we skipped something, though, that would have been important. Because there's usually a Cheap Trick release in here. Was that just speeding through? Hold on. I missed it on the page before. It's the first time I've ever went through a list live, and apparently I can't read anything. Yeah, Cheap Trick. They always have something. Let's see. Cheap Trick, Out to Get You, Live 1977. Okay, I want this. I want this. They're always putting out cool stuff. The thing is, Cheap Trick on Record Store Day, they always put out stuff that's like unreleased for the most part, or stuff that's, originally was like bootleg releases and things like that. So getting to see this on vinyl, this would be cool. It's an unreleased live show. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. That's a great cover too. Like, it's like kind of low quality, but that's why I like it. So I would definitely get that. And I saw another thing I skipped over. I'm doing a really bad job about going in order on any of these things, but I saw that I skipped over a Def Leppard release as well. Where did that go on here? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What is this? So with Def Leppard here, we have Rock and Roll Hall of Fame release. Look at that cover. It's pretty cool. Is it just a recording of what they played there? Yeah, it looks like that's what it is. The complete 5-song performance from Def Leppard's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inauguration, featuring guest stars Brian May and Ian Hunter. Yeah, Ian Hunter, that's cool. Okay, this is cool. This is something I would like to pick up as well, for sure. Let's see here. Eggman says, I know, I agree. I still have not bought my ticket for a Dragon Con ticket. Yeah, I mean, I want everybody to support all these conventions as much as you possibly can in these trying times, but I would not buy a ticket for one I didn't have right now because it's not going to happen. Let's see. Dio royally effed Vivian Camp. Well, let's see here, though. What else do we have on here? We have some Billie Eilish. Is that how you say her name? I don't know. Get an Eminem single. What's this Entombed thing? What do we have from them? Let's see. You can get a live, it looks like a live Entombed record. Only 500 of these bad boys. So if you get one of these, this one's going to be a hard one to find if you're into Entombed. That's pretty cool. That's a cool release for sure. Let's see. What do we have on page 3? So I need to pay more attention also. Eve 6. Eve 6 is still a band. Do you guys remember them? I don't remember. I mean, I remember them, but I couldn't tell you much about them. They had that one really annoying one hit. They're one hit wonder. I don't get mad though about one hit wonders like some people do, just for the simple fact that they had one hit at least. Let's see here. So here's the release that I think a lot of you would be excited about. Right here. Look at that beauty. I don't mean the man. I mean, I guess he's beautiful, but I mean the record itself is just beautiful. I've always thought this was cool cover art. It's Ace kind of like controlling little aces. He's got some aces in his deck. 2,400 of these, which is, it sounds like it's not a whole lot, but I think most people that want it will be able to get it. But this is a re-release of Trouble Walkin', one that's been a little bit hard to get on vinyl. It's been kind of been going up through the years as far as value on vinyl. And I don't think there's anything super special here. I believe it's on yellow vinyl. Yeah, it's on yellow and orange. 180-gram double vinyl release for the first time since its 1989 pressing. I want this. I want this so bad. This is part of the August release schedule. I really want this so bad. It's so cool. And hopefully I'll be able to get it. Hopefully all of you will be able to get it. This is one of the crown jewels of what's coming out on Record Store Day, in my humble opinion. And it just breaks my heart that we don't get actual Kiss releases on Record Store Day. We get these Ace ones. Ace puts something out almost every time now. It's usually a picture disc or a re-release or a live record or something. But it's always relatively cool, so I'm never too mad that it's a re-release with him. Let's see here. Eggman says, what about Atlanta Comic Con? I went last year. I don't know when that is, but if it's this year, I guarantee it will be canceled. I really do. Some people are saying, when people like myself say, I'm saying say a lot there, that everything's going to be canceled, or being doomsayers, or being mean, or anything else. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Anime Weekend Atlanta happening. That's Halloween weekend in Atlanta. I don't see it happening. Greg Mann says, Eve 6 isn't a one-hit wonder. They almost were. So you're saying they had no hits? Let's see. Let's see. Clutch says, always thought the song said, I have trouble walking. I think that That was brought into my life at some point too, because Ace would have trouble walking, especially at this point in his life, because he was still boozing it up. Trouble Walking is a great record. I love it. It's my favorite Ace solo record, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that that's my favorite one. I really am. Okay, this is something no one on the stream is going to care about, but I like the game, at least the documentary record. I don't know this one, though. Born to Rap. That album cover, though, wow. What a cover. What a cover. I don't know if that's something I'll pick up necessarily or not, but I don't know. I like Compton rappers. They're usually pretty cool. So, let's see. What else is on here? What else is getting released that day? There's a lot of releases, as you can see here. We got some stuff from Gorillaz. Not really my jam too much. I like the first Gorillaz record. I don't really dislike anything they've put out, but I don't know that I'd buy it, but that's pretty cool. Ooh, is this Gravediggaz? There's another. Oh, that's not the one I remember liking. They're a good hip hop group too, though. Watch us lose all the viewers now. We're talking about hip hop on this primarily rock and roll channel. Let's see here. Let's see what else we have. Screamin' Jay Hawkins. That's someone I wish I knew more about, because he's such an originator of shock rock. Look at this album cover. what that is. What a great album cover. He's just like in a coffin. Oh, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. If you don't know Screamin' Jay Hawkins, he used to wear makeup and there were things on fire. His big song was I Put a Spell on You. Everybody knows that song. And I don't know if that's necessarily on here, but this seems like a great regular song on here called Thing Called a Woman. I've got to check that out. I need to check out more Screamin' Jay Hawkins. He's another one, Because I'm on Your mind. That one doesn't have nearly as interesting of an album cover, but I like the other one where he's just in the casket. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Eggman says, Friday, July 31st, 2020 till Sunday, August 2nd, Atlanta Comic Con. Yeah, that's going to be canceled. I can almost guarantee. I'm sorry if you're looking forward to seeing it or going to it. Again, a lot of these, with all their different contracts and stuff, it takes time for them to be able to cancel, but it's getting canceled. I guarantee that. We have some Hawkwind stuff here. Not a band, I appreciate them. Not a band I necessarily collect from, but I'm sure some of you might like to pick up some Hawkwind stuff. Pretty cool, for sure. Jimi Hendrix puts out something every one of these times. I always like to see the covers. They're usually interesting or cool. Yeah, it's a good cover, but I don't know, he puts out so much stuff consistently, or his estate puts out stuff consistently on these that I don't buy it all. I bought a few of the things. I think I ended up getting rid of most of them. Not that I dislike Jimi Hendrix. I love him. Okay, so Judas Priest. What are we getting from Judas Priest? We're getting a British Still limited edition 40th anniversary edition. Is that on a picture disc? Looks like it. Sure looks like a picture disc. Let's see here. It says it's being pressed on red, white, and blue marble double vinyl with album artwork featured on each disc. That sounds cool. I want to pick that up. That sounds cool. $3,500. You should be able to get that. A lot of the record nerds don't really care about Judas Priest. So that should be pretty easy to get. What else are we getting from them? We're getting Sad Wings of Destiny. I could have sworn this came out already on Record Store Day, but maybe it didn't. I'm probably wrong. Let's see here. Nothing super special about it. It just seems like it's just kind of a standard re-release. But nonetheless, we have it here coming out. We have a release from Little Kim. That's funny. I don't know that her audience would care about Record Store Day, but that's cool. Let's see. But look, No Kiss. This is right about where it would be. They never put anything out on Record Store Day. I don't understand it. It's money they can just make from putting something out. Guess that's what they're doing with all those re-releases on their website. Nonetheless, though, let's see what's on page 5. Page 5, we have Maroon 5 on page 5. Hope nobody buys that. Motorhead. All right. Motorhead. Ace of Spades and Dirty Love 12-inch single. Is this like a limited edition picture disc celebrating? So it's a picture disc that's going to look like this. How cool is that? That's cool. Wouldn't it be cool if it was like die cut to be the logo? That'd be great. We have Mott the Hoople. Golden Age of Rock and Roll. Some Mott there for everybody. This is a great album cover. It's always been a great album cover. Let's see here. Is it just I think it's just a re-release, but nonetheless, pretty cool. Pretty cool. See, Eggman says Eric Johnson beats Jimi Hendrix national anthem. I've never heard his version, so I don't know. But there's definitely good versions out there that aren't Jimi Hendrix. The Kiss version is good on Alive 3. Let's see here. Let's see. Saw Bert. Clutch says he saw Bert. Led Zeppelin ripped some stuff off from him. Ooh, interesting. I should look him up too. So you guys are always telling me about music I don't know about. I feel like I know a lot of music, and then you guys just school me every time. Every time. We have Randy Newman releases coming out. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. We have the ODB. This is something, again, no one on this channel is going to care about for the most part. But, okay, I swear this came out on Record Store Day before already. Are they starting to re-release just the... Yeah, it's a 7-inch vinyl box set of it. They put this out as a 12-inch before. That's dumb that they're re-releasing it again on Record Store Day. Doing it once is fine. I'm okay with re-releases, but we're getting to the point where we're getting re-releases on Record Store Day. Not a fan of that at all. But here we are. So let's see. Ramones. We always get a Ramones release. Always get a Ramones release. And this is It's Alive 2. Interesting. I like the first It's Alive from them. Special 40th anniversary release. It's Alive 2 includes a live show recorded in the UK in 1977, December 29th to be exact. Prior to the original New Year's Eve live performance recorded at the Rainbow Theater December 31st. Let's see. Yeah, so this is cool. 8,000 copies coming out, so you should be able to get this one if you want it. But I definitely want it. I try to get everything with the Ramones. So that's something I'll try to pick up for sure. What do we have from Rockabye Baby? The Lullabies of the Wu-Tang. So Rockabye Baby is just kind of like, it's what it sounds like. It's Rockabye... songs made for kids, and now you can get the Wu-Tang version of it. Some Wu-Tang songs, like just from the title alone, you couldn't even put on here. And wow, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with, except they censored it. That's not really a song you should sing to the little kids, probably. That's an interesting release for sure. You got something from the Rolling Stones. Let's see what else you have on here. Skid Row. Okay, this is cool. Slave to the Grind Expanded. What is this? 2,500 copies. Slave to the Grind, the uncensored version on solid 180-gram vinyl for the first time in 29 years. 29 years, guys. Run Out Groove expands it to a 2 LP set, including 4 bonus tracks making their debut on wax, presented in deluxe tip-on style gatefold jacket with insert. This is cool. I always thought this was a great album art, or had great album art. So great. I'm going to get this if I can. This one has 2,500 copies. You should be able to get it pretty easily. So hopefully we can get it. Hopefully we can get it. There's still people making noises outside. What in the world? Hopefully that stuff isn't coming up too much on here. My neighborhood's been very noisy today. Let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have? We're getting near the end of the list, I'm thinking, because we're in the S's. You have TLC Waterfalls, if you want to check that out. Let's see here. Get some Toto. That's kind of interesting. Let's see here. Get some UFO. I don't know a lot about UFO, but I know people love UFO. So I don't know if this is something that's been released before or not. That's a cool cover, nonetheless. I can say that much. But I know people really like UFOs. So, cool release. Better than U2 right above it. Can't stand that band. The kids got to know not to F with the woo. I mean, plus, there's some other song titles that are questionable. There are some others that are questionable. There's a lot of lyrics that are questionable when you're doing it for little kids on there. Let's see, a lot of various artist stuff. These are always soundtracks and things like that. You can get the soundtrack for Batman and Robin. That average movie. You can get the Austin Powers soundtracks. Okay. I would be interested in this. I'm not going to lie. I'd be interested in this. I love these. These are stupid movies, but I love them. It's on colored vinyl. You can get a trilogy of them. Get all of them. Look, just that, this was overplayed when it was out. People did the quotes all the time, and it got really annoying. But when you go back and watch these movies now, they're really funny. Plus, Beyonce's in this one. which is something, it's interesting to think about. But yeah, nonetheless, there you go. Austin Powers soundtracks. Let's see, Dune soundtrack. What else is on here that's worth bringing up? Nativity in Black. Okay, that's cool. Has that ever even been on vinyl? Does it say? There it goes. Hard to believe this killer 1994 Black Sabbath tribute album has never been on vinyl in the U.S. Wow, this is cool. I want this. This is a good tribute record. I mean, just look at that list. Megadeth, White Zombie, Biohazard, Sepultura, Ozzy on his own tribute record with Therapy, ? Corrosion of Conformity, Bruce Dickinson with Godspeed, Ugly Kid Joe, Faith No More, Burning Brummies, which features Rob Halford, Geezer on his own tribute. Same thing with Bill Ward, Brian Tilson Wino, Typo Negative, 1,000 Homo DJs. Wow, what? And Al Jordanson, however you say his name, the guy from Ministry. Good release there. A lot of classic bands. It's a little bit telling of the time with bands like Biohazard when it came out in the mid-90s, but nonetheless, a good release. A good release. Let's see here. Speaking of bats, I'm going to head out. I must return to Arkham. All right, return to Arkham. Also, dude, Austin Powers was great. Mas Quiz Nada. Yes, it was. Daddy wasn't there. Hard Knock Live featuring Dr. Evil. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, maybe I'll have to get that. The more I think about it, the Austin Powers soundtrack sounds like it might be worth getting. And we're on the last page. So what else do we have? A lot more various artists, soundtracks, compilation. I don't really care about compilations too much on vinyl, personally. But nonetheless, let's see. We got some releases from The Who and Frank Zappa. But yeah, that about does it for Record Store Day. That's a lot of stuff that's coming out. And a lot of stuff that's interesting to me on Record Store Day. So, I don't know. Are you guys going to try to go out to the 3 Record Store Days this year? Are you going to try to pick some stuff up? What are you going to try to pick up? I mean, were you paying attention to the stuff there? What are you looking into getting? What do you want to get on Record Store Day? Let me know. We have some stuff coming out, but I'm curious if it will still come out in this format. Maybe they'll switch to doing it as online only. Who knows? But let's switch this site off for a second. And we're back to the original view. Yeah, what is everybody going to get for Record Store Day? Are you doing Record Store Day? Do you do Record Store Day? Have you done it in the past? What have you picked up in the past? It's an interesting thing, Record Store Day is. I'm quite the fan of it. I'm quite the fan. It just sucks that this year we might not get in the same format. Because in the past, usually on Record Store Day, you have like this big celebration. There's parties outside of the Record Store Days. There's food trucks. There's bands playing. There's bands playing in the record store. There's bands playing outside of the record store. There's stuff everywhere. There's sales. There's all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if we're going to get any of that this year. Eggman wants us to know that you rock, have a heavy metal weekend. You all rock. Rock on. I salute you there, man. Let's see. I would need to get a record player for all that, is what Clutch 2827 says. However, I do have an unopened copy of Kiss Alive. If that's an original 75 pressing of Kiss Alive sealed, that's worth a fair amount of money. I'm just going to tell you right now. Even if it's like a mid-80s pressing. If it's one of the more current ones or one of the back on plaque ones from a couple of years back, it's not really worth as much, but it's still really cool. But the original pressing of that, my nose is itching like crazy. The original pressing is worth a lot of money. And that is a problem with Record Store Day, of course, and just record collecting and vinyl culture in general, is that not everybody has a record player. I buy vinyl and records, and I don't even have a working record player right now. I haven't for a while, and I need to get a new one. But it's funny, every time I consider buying a new one, I'm like, I can get a new record, but I can't enjoy them. I can't listen to them right now, so it's kind of pointless, but I keep buying them because I'm an obsessive collector, just like all of you out there, or at least some of you out there. But nonetheless, it's fun. Vinyl collecting is fun. Vinyl collecting is really fun. It's a good time. It's a good time for everybody. I really enjoy it. So I'm really hoping that Record Store Day does happen this year in some capacity. I don't see it happening the way it has before, or the way it should, or the way it deserves to even happen in some ways. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe they switch and just sell everything online. I could see that being a mess, unless they kind of put it all on one site. and somehow mandated it to where you could actually get everything, because that's one thing that's nice about going to the store on these days. The store's open, people line up, but you can actually get everything, because even though you wait in line as you go through the little cubicles of records, but that idea right now too is just like terrifying, since you're not supposed to touch people and you're just shoved in there as tight as you can on it. So I don't really know what the future for Record Store Day is, or what the possibilities of Record Store Day would be or will be, but I guess we'll see when we get there. Nonetheless. So, with that being said, what do you guys want to know? What are your questions? What are your fantasies? What do you want to know from me, about me, anything? Because I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to do in this stream tonight already. And I don't plan on going for 2 hours tonight, because that was long last time. So we might be reaching the end soon, but I would like to go for a little bit longer. So let's keep it up for a little bit. Clutch says, the first Kiss album I ever bought my own money was Love Gun, just because the cover looked cooler than Rock and Roll Over. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Rock and Roll Over has a great cover, but Love Gun is just like amazing. That artwork, man, that artwork, it's something else. There's a reason that the guys stuck with that artist. Is that King Kelly? I believe that's King Kelly. For Destroyer, for Love Gun, it does good stuff. Greg Man wants to know, do you have a job? Yes. I'm not an unemployed slob. This is a job. You asked, do I have a job? This is a job technically. Yeah, I definitely have a job outside of this though as well, of course. And when things return to normal and I start doing that job again, we probably won't be able to do as many live streams, or they won't be as consistently on the same days at least. But that does make them more special as well. So that's the pros and cons of having a job outside of this. I would love to get to the point one day where I made enough money on here, as well as with my band Night Sabers, and maybe through my soon-to-be Twitch channel and things like that, to where I didn't have to have a job outside of these things. But I don't really see that happening. I mean, it's not something I even though I say I would like it, it's not something I even like necessarily fantasize about or anything. That's not the goal. It's not the end goal here. I love talking to you guys. I love hanging out. I love sharing my joyousness when it comes to Kiss, rock and roll, video games, anime, things like that. But the end goal is not to do this full time necessarily. But if it ever happened, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It'd just be one of those things that I think it'd be really hard. I know a lot of people that do content creation between YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all kinds of things. They do it full time, and it always seems like they're struggling. It seems like they're having a hard time. They pay the bills, but just barely a lot of the time. So you got to get to a big level for it to be accomplishable. Is that even a word? I don't know. Conjugation's hard, guys. Let's see here. Austin wants to know, what's my favorite video game I've ever played? That's a hard one. It's easier to pick series. I really like Yakuza and Resident Evil. And those are some of my favorite series. Out of those, Yakuza 0 is really good. If you've never played a Yakuza game, it's a good place to start too, since it is a prequel, even though it has references to stuff later in the game, so it's very confusing, but it's a confusing story in general. But Yakuza 0 is really cool. And with Resident Evil, I really like Resident Evil 2, the original one, as well as the remake. But Resident Evil 4 is really good, and I'm replaying that right now. It's really hard. Forgot how hard it is. Maybe I just got bad at it. But those are some of my favorites. I also really like Mario Odyssey, the Mario that's on the Switch. That's a phenomenal game. As well as Splatoon 2 on the Switch. We're talking Switch, you open things up for so much more. So many more possibilities. But Austin, if you like video games, since you're wondering about that, I know some other people have asked about them, I am starting a Twitch channel soon. I know I've said that a couple times throughout this stream, as well as others that'll be soon, but it really is going to be soon. And I definitely hope to see you on there. It'll probably be called something like Kimchi Games, Kimchi Gaming, something along those lines. I'm not sure. It's not going to be just strictly Kimchi Chris, but it'll be something like that. Let's see. Cam wants to know about, what about Lara Croft's polygon boobs? Are you talking about like the original, like OG, like PlayStation 1, like boxes? Or are you talking about the current one where it's a lot more realistic? I mean, Tomb Raider's cool. I never super got into the older ones, but some of the newer ones where they've rebooted it's pretty cool. It's an interesting game. I'm just not very good at them. I sometimes like games where you can't die. I know that sounds weird because part of the challenge of games is not dying. But what I mean by that is I like kind of some of the like almost life simulator or movies like you're watching and you pick what's happening. Like Heavy Rain. I really liked Heavy Rain. That's a great one. I also like rhythm games like the Project Diva games with Miku. Those are great. Love those. Love those. Rhythm games are cool. The Persona rhythm games are really fun as well. So, and Persona's good. I've been playing through Persona 5 now. Now that Royal's out, so I'm old, or I'm past where I should be. It's past. The game's like 4 years old, and they finally put out a remake. So I finally played the original because I got it super cheap. Yeah, really, really like those games. But I'm still not sure what I'm going to stream on Twitch. I'm going towards something like Resident Evil to start out with. Maybe the Resident Evil 3 remake, because it's not a very long game. And since I'll be learning Twitch, it'll be nice to stream something that's not super time consuming in case I just mess it all up. And that one has some good jump scares and stuff. So we'll see. I've already played it, but I'm sure that I would still be ridiculous to watch, because it's, even if you play that game, it's hard. And it's I'm gonna die a lot. I'm not that good at it, so I don't know if people would enjoy watching me play it. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see here. Any other unplayable games you've tried? I don't know what you mean by unplayable. How would I try it if it was unplayable? Do you mean hard games? Like Dark Souls? That's a hard game. Those games are too hard. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I play a lot of video games, but I feel like I stick with a lot of the same series. Because again, with like Yakuza, there's 6 mainline games. There's a prequel, so that's 7. There's the 2 remakes, so that's 9. Then you have that zombie one I never played, so that's 10. Then there's like ones in Japan that never came out. So you stick with, in the Resident Evil, there's, God, I don't know how many there are. There's like 20 plus games in that. Mario, there's 20 plus games. There's like 50,000 plus games. So I play all these series with a lot of games. Or games with a lot of series. I can't talk. The beauty of live streaming. I can't edit. But nonetheless, what do you mean? Maybe hard games? What games have I given up on? I don't know. There's a lot of like Nintendo games that I gave up on back in the day. And even more currently with like emulation and stuff. I mean, you take like that old Ninja Turtles game, which is so hard. Nobody beat that. Actually, a lot of people beat it. But back in the day, it was hard to beat. It was really hard to beat. I mentioned earlier in the stream that the port of Mega Man 1 on your phone is really bad port, but the game's really hard. I've never beat a Mega Man game, and I've tried with so many of them, but I've never beat them. I have the collection of all the old ones on the PS4. Maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with that. It's very hard, though. Cam says the Resident Evil movies suck. The first one's good. I don't care. I know everybody says they're all bad. I think the first one's good. Second one's okay. Then they kind of go downhill from there. I like the first one, though. I really do like the first one. And Clutch says, Metroid for the win. Yes! Metroid's great. I've never beat a Metroid game. I need to get into that. I need to do that. I need to beat one. Metroidvania, is a genre now where you combine Castlevania and Metroid, kind of. And those games can be kind of hard. So it gets a weird name for itself. But with all this talk of video games, and it's very warm in my house because I turned off the air conditioning so it wouldn't mess up the sound. I think that we are going to end the stream for the night. I think it's a good time. We've went for close to an hour and a half. It's not 2 hours like last Friday, but an hour and a half is a good stream. I feel we accomplished a lot. I feel we got closer to each other. And before we go, though, just a little heads up for you guys that are here. Sunday's video on the channel is going to be a cool one. I tried to film it today. And as I said earlier, there were a lot of sounds happening in my neighborhood. So it was hard to film, as in I didn't film it. So I don't want to say what it is, because if I don't film it or something screws up, messes up before Sunday and I have to do something different, then you won't know anything different. But Sunday at 6 o'clock Central, just like normal. I might do the premiere feature this time. If we do the premiere feature, it gives a little chat room on the side, so it's kind of like a live stream. So if you see it pop up and it says it's going to premiere Sunday at 6, if you jump in, there's a chat room, and I'll be in there for that if we do that. But otherwise, I might just release it like normal. But Sunday's video should be cool. As far as the next stream goes, I don't know if it'll be next Friday or not. Could be sooner, could be later. Might do Friday. I like the idea of Fridays. Today has done okay on numbers. It didn't do as strong as the first Friday one, but it's done okay as I've been setting here. I don't know. We'll see the final numbers when all's said and done, I suppose. But I like doing them on Fridays, so maybe we'll make it a tradition. It's just a little less special if you do it once a week on the same day, I feel. But we'll see when that happens. And Twitch channel coming soon. Hopefully some new stuff from Night Saber is coming soon. And as always, more videos coming soon on the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by that have stopped by. Thank you for the people who have been here the whole time. There's been a few of you, I think, that have been here the whole time or close to it. And I applaud you. I applaud you from my heart. I wouldn't spend an hour and a half watching myself talk about Record Store Day and video games and anime conventions and all this stuff. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you guys on the next video, the next stream, next Instagram post, all those things. Bye.